This is the Air Max 720, Nike Sportswear's big new shoe for 2019, and we're going to show you 5 can't miss details before you buy them on February 1st. So here we go, let's uncover 5 can't miss facts about the Air Max 720. So we're going to first cover the basics. And number 1, here's when you can buy the shoes. It's going to release on February 1st, 2019 in this specific colorway, as well as another Aurora Borealis inspired colorway. This is a men's version, and the other lighter blue version is made specifically for women. But now that the brand is making extended sizes for both styles, you'll probably be able to cop both if you're interested. On February 21st, there'll be 2 other versions that are releasing exclusively for Nike Plus members. So again, another incentive to sign up for Nike Plus if you haven't yet. Those 2 colorways are inspired by the Sunset and the Sunrise. The women's version is the Sunrise, and it features like colors of dusk, like a dark magenta and a purple, whereas the men's is the Sunset, that classic yellow to orange that you see on the Air Max Plus. And finally, on February 28th, there are a bunch of other colorways that are all tied to nature. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but here's what you need to know. February 1st, February 21st, and February 28th, and each pair will retail for $180 for both the men's and the women's sizes. The next fact we'd like to uncover is right here. The 720, while it looks like one, is actually not your traditional full-length Air Max unit. And clearly, it looks like there's air from the front to the back, but this particular airbag was built a little bit differently, and we'll show you why. If you think about Air Max bags from the past, especially the full-length ones like the 97, 2003, 360, 2009, those shoes pretty much had full mattresses of air underneath the foot. And that provided the most air, that provided the most cushion. But for the 720, they kind of went about it in a different way. So while it looks like it's a full length and it kind of has that enchanting pop of an Air Max full bag, the air actually only sits in the outer edges of the shoe. And Nike wanted to create a sensation of the airbag acting more like an inner tube. If you've ever been sliding down on a tube or like a lazy river in a water park or something like that, you feel snug, you feel stable. You're not gonna sway back and forth, you're not gonna get flipped over or whatever. They wanted to apply that same principle here. So again, while it looks like a full-length Air Max unit, it's actually built completely differently, much more stable for everyday use. The next fact we wanna touch on the 720 is right here on the upper. And when we were at the Nike World headquarters back in July, and the designers were talking about the design process of the shoe, one term that kind of came up regularly was retro future. And they elaborated that they wanted to design the shoe for the future as if it was designed in the past. If you think back to sci-fi movies from like the 70s and the 80s, and you see how they designed spaceships and things like that, there's a lot of like tubing, there's a lot of exterior pieces like this window right here. They wanted to take that sort of aesthetic and apply it to the shoe. Again, retro future, a shoe designed for the future as if it was designed in the past. Again, that pretty much shows, these deep ridges along the upper, this exterior piece with the mesh. It seems like something you would see in a spaceship, even this little toe piece, and even the way that the bubble is built. And if you even look at the heel, it looks like almost a spaceship that was designed in the 70s, So that's a little cool fact that I thought was pretty interesting. The whole aspect of retro future and how it ties in pretty well with this Air unit. The 720 Air unit is very futuristic looking. It has these nice bulbous kind of dimensions. It has these nice wavy lines that go up and down the sole. The whole retro future look plus the design of the 720 airbag fits pretty perfectly. So another key detail about the 720 is that the launch colorways are heavily inspired by nature. How Nike designers and the color team arrived at that is they actually held a lot of focus groups with the younger generation, and they're talking about things like, the current climate of politics and social issues and things of that nature. And one response that was kind of coming up regularly was exhausting. And, just based on kind of what's going on in the world, it's a pretty valid response. So using the 720, they wanted to focus on colors that radiate energy. So they focused on natural phenomenon. So like we said, the launch colorways, this one right here is inspired by the Aurora Borealis, aka the Northern Lights. It's this crazy streak of colors that just naturally happen in the sky. You can view it in some parts of the world. Even with the iridescent nature of the Air unit, you kind of get that, color shifting sort of look. Nature was a huge inspiration for the launch colorways. Again, they wanted to radiate energy with the shoes. Even the upper design kind of has this sort of invigorating sort of vibe to it. As we mentioned before, there's colorways inspired by the sunrise and the sunset. Others about sea forests, sand dunes, so things that occur naturally in the world. Using that, they want to sort of send out positive vibes through footwear. So one final fact you should probably know about the 720 is that this is only the beginning. This is of course the launch shoe that debuts the 720 Max unit, but similar to how the 270 was expanded with other models, the 720 is going to do the same. And you've already seen a hint of that with Jordan Brand. They unveiled the Proto Max 720, which is a crazy lifestyle shoe with the same 720 ideology. And you can fully expect this airbag to be featured in a bunch of other shoes, possibly ISPA footwear, maybe even ACG, who knows. But since this was built specifically for lifestyle, we're definitely going to see some pretty interesting iterations of 720. So while this is only the beginning for 720, you should expect to see a lot more moving forward. So that was it. Those are 5 quick can't miss facts about the 720. We hope you guys learned a little bit something, but just to add to that, the shoes do fit true to size. The shoes are insanely comfortable, definitely more comfortable than the 270. Again, the shoe releases on February 1st in this Aurora Borealis colorway, and there's a women's version as well. All the information that you need to know about release info, just check the links below in the description. Of course, be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and let us know, are you going to cop the 720 or not? So again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.